Today's painting is of some yellow tulips in a vase with a couple of pomegranates. And I'm going to start in my usual fashion by using a raw umber wash with walnut alkyd medium. And then I'm going to go ahead and take a rag and wipe out the composition to start. How I'm placing it on the page, a little off center. I want all of the tulips to make it onto the board, although I really don't quite make it with the third one on the right. And I'm just wiping down the areas that are going to have the lightest colored paint. Once I've wiped out the initial composition, I put in the darkest darks to start with, and I also use that rubber tip tool to really delineate the lights that I see. I tend to go back and forth between the darks and the lights. I like to sort of bring the painting out of the canvas in this way by looking for the sharp edges, the bright spots of color, and just gradually bringing the whole thing together. You'll notice with the vase that I'm not interested in working on the detail or the specific colors. I'm looking at the general pattern of light that's hitting the vase. And, you know, I look for, I'm seeing like an ochre shade here that I'm putting in to as sort of as a placeholder. The actual detail on the vase might come later, or in some cases I don't even use that. That's not what I'm interested in. I'm really looking to show where the light is hitting the different objects that I'm painting. When I'm working on the foliage here, you'll notice that I'm almost using a blue color for some of the lights. And when I look at the stems and the leaves, I'm determining whether they're more yellow or blue when the light's hitting them, because that's going to give them a sense of direction in terms of the direction of the foliage and making it actually look like leaves on the flowers. I apologize again that I've cut off the picture here and it's hard for you to see what I'm doing with those flowers. As I draw my attention to the pomegranates, I'm mixing a few different reds. Um, it's it's not always easy to get the right color for pieces of fruit, and you'll notice that something like a pomegranate or an apple, even as well, have several different types of reds and different hues in the fruit, as well as the light hitting them um, causes there to be oranges and pinks as well. For the fabric on the base, I'm using a phthalo blue mixture. The phthalo is a very strong pigment, so I only need a tiny bit. And as you can see, I'm adding quite a bit of white to make it very bright. But it's a wonderful blue to use, but you have to use it very sparingly because it's so intense. Never be afraid to pick up your rag and wipe out the color if you feel that it's going to mix too much with what you're putting on top. There are many ways that you can use a rag or even your finger to move the paint on the canvas. You don't always need to use a brush, and sometimes you need to use a rag before you use the brush. Getting to the spot here where I run out of tape or I run out of space on my phone, and it jumps ahead to a later point where I come back to it with a different perspective. And here my camera work still isn't very good because I'm still cut off that top right corner of the painting, and my hand is in the way a lot. So I promise to work on my camera technique for future videos.